Welcome to the programming segment. As always, if you're watching in the VOD, there's no music at this point. This is also the Resident Sleeper portion of the stream. We just finished playing some Lethal Company. Whatever they did with the Magnet crash, like all my programs. Not my PC though. My PC didn't crash. Just my programs. But hopefully, if we build this thing, some less things will go wrong. I'm assuming it might be better, or I may make it worse. Who really knows? What are we doing today? Okay, one, we're programming, but what are we programming? Do you always have to have a goal when you go into these projects? If you don't have a goal, you're gonna end up in a much worse space because what is this? What is this? Why is this here? You're gonna end up in a very bad space where you're building something that's trying to find a solution, that's trying to find a problem to solve, right? Which is a lot of technology out there. A lot of technology tends to be in the realm of trying to find a problem to solve. The problem with that is that you'll never find a problem to solve because like problems don't crop up out of nowhere for a specific purpose, if that makes sense. The solution to a problem can never be found before the problem, not as a taxonomical thing in terms of like, how like the chicken before the egg problem. But in the sense of you can't ever predict what a problem will be, and whatever you've built is probably too generic or too specific to ever fit to any specific problem. So, what's my problem? I've got too many windows open, and so when I have to restart everything when it crashes, you saw how long that like took when it did crash, right? It took me like 2 or 3 minutes to like bring every program back up. There's Spotify, there's my browser window, there's the multi-streaming thing that I have to do. I have to delete the VOD if it stays up, and then there's like two different VODs on like YouTube. There's a whole like mess. I need a way for the VOD to keep going, even if I'm not, and then turn off like the auto end feature. There's a whole bunch of things that I need to do basically to make this stream work when I'm going across multiple platforms, right? In fact, even on the YouTube side, it's dead. I don't know why. I actually don't know why. Why? Connect streaming software to go live. My brother in Christ, I am on. What? So, what we need to do is build something that can simplify all of this, give me like a single point of view for everything. That way I can get everything going. Dedge. Yeah, exactly. It's just Dedge. And when we do, we'll be in a much better space overall. How we're going to do this is through a stream management console, which I spent some time. Sorry, this is just a message that I need to post inside the YouTube live stream chat, which I spent some time figuring out what I want to build. And the important thing is to think about it in terms of a tool that consolidates information into one space instead of a tool that like tries to replace OBS. That delineation needs to be very, very clear. OBS is really good at one thing and like one thing only, which is compositing scenes, building a very easy to build drag and drop visual tool for managing your stream view and allowing you to then, composite them. Different layers across different scenes, across different spaces, transition between them, perform various effects to overall build a interesting show visually and orally. Audio, right? AUR, not orally as an ORA. It's really, really bad at other things, though. It relies on third-party widgets to handle stuff like stream information and like chat, which is fine, but because of the way that it does it, it only really expects a simple model of how you do things, which is one stream per session of OBS. We're now moving towards a new era, I would say. There's a new era to like content creation in general that I've been seeing a lot of. This new era is really about I don't want to say multi-streaming necessarily, but more so I guess like what's the word I'm trying to find here? There's a certain je ne sais quoi. Proliferation. Because multi-streaming is just one way that you proliferate, right? But now that the competition is so steep, and now that there's so many different people watching, but also now that there are so many players taking up so many large chunks of the viewing population, how do you put yourself out there in a way that stands out? Well, you can make really good content. I don't really do very good content most of the time. But there's also another thing that you can do, which is the alternative. You ignore quality and you push the lever up on quantity, right? In this realm, OBS doesn't really work well. OBS is really designed around one single stream of work. It's why you need a third-party plugin to do multi-streams with using RTMP streams. It's also why you don't get a lot of the widgets that you would normally get for your particular streaming service, because it ties it to whatever streaming service is active. So if Twitch is the active streaming service, you then can't get the YouTube chat as well as the YouTube updating tools, right? We're going to bake all of that in with our program, with our little stream management console. which is going to be very, very good for us. As I mentioned before, the audio side, we're going to ignore as much of it as we can because the audio side with the music and the audio and the automatic ducking, as well as things like, the Twitch alerts, we'll have to deal with that later as a whole separate thing because it's kind of difficult to do and it's annoying, but I think this is the safest way to do it, at least for now, because we have about 2 days left until the sandbox game jam is over. So we need to finish this pretty much ASAP. And I can't do the OAuth portion on the stream because you would see my credentials and you'd also steal my key and then you could do a lot with that. So I need to do that all offline, which means we have to build a mock API as well. It's a bit of a whole mess. But when we do, it should be good. There's a bunch of examples on how to do this. So if we ignore the audio portion, which is this whole portion over here, what do we really work with at our original design? Well, I realized it's actually very, very simple. There's only really two screens, right? You have your auth screen, then you have your info screen, which is updating the things like, your live stream title, updating the game, which you can't do on YouTube. So I think this one I can probably just leave it or just only embed like Twitch's thing. But the title propagation is nice. Doing it over here for the game category or for the category of stuff is nice. The main thing is just embedding both chats into one place, and then we have a space then to add a bunch of media stuff if we have time. But I think for now we focus just on this basic stuff. I wanted to maybe just stick with HTML and just basic HTML and CSS, but thinking about it now, if you update the title, you want to make sure that it's in sync with the information that you got. I don't know if I can trust the client necessarily to update it correctly. Or at least that would be more work on the client versus just taking whatever comes back from the response. Because I think the response tells you if it was successful or not, and then you just copy the information down. I'm just trying to think of potential issues in terms of building this in plain HTML and CSS versus using something like any web framework like React or something, right? This will be within the browser for us to use as well. I don't know if I want to use React. To be fair, it's a bit of a mess to use for such a small thing, but I think it might be okay. Either way, the solution is fairly straightforward. We get this. It's just a couple text boxes, right? You do one text box for the title. You then hook it up to some function that will then eventually call out to some method, and then from there, you're good to go. So I can actually start with a basically empty folder. So let's get a code editor. I don't even know what code editor I use anymore. I haven't opened these up in so long. Actually, the job interview was the first time I've opened the code editor in a very long time. Usually, most job interviews, what they do is they just kind of tell you to go online. So if you go on I don't know, what's an online programming test taker thing? I don't know the name of these. What's the site that I used? Was it Codility? I think it was Codility. What was it called? Shit, there was one. Wait, what was the Google one? Google Online Code Editor for interviews. They maybe use something. LeetCode.com discuss. What is the interface provided? Due to COVID-19, only Google Docs is used. Huh? Codeinterview.io, CodeShare. Fuck, was it they use? I can't recall. It was this. No, this wasn't the one for Google. Here, I'll show you. So there's a bunch of these. So okay, wait. Studio mode. We do this. Main browser. Yeah, it's good. Okay, yep. This bad boy. I used this today, which was interesting. Basically, they're on the opposite end. So usually you do all of your interview stuff on a third-party platform, and then they just kind of watch you do it. It's a very strange approach because I kind of hate using these, but at the same time, it gives you both a shared environment to talk over, so it's kind of cool. At Google, they maybe use something else, and I can't remember what they told me to use, but they maybe used something else, and then we just called on a Zoom call. Or what? No, it wasn't a Zoom call. It was a Google Meet call, which was very, man, I want to tell you right now, the other problem with interviews is that they do not give them proper tools to talk to you. So their microphone quality is really bad. It's really hard to hear them. They are not clear at all, and then it takes a while to suss out what's happening if there's a bunch of background noise. But it's usually pretty good. So if you ever have to do an interview, stuff like this will feel very familiar to you, and it definitely feels weird to do it in this interface because you basically never have to open your own code editor, which makes sense. Here, though, we have the luxury of having our own thing. So, how's this gonna work? Well, I have no clue. It's been a while since I've actually done like a full new project. So let's see. I usually just take on projects that are already existing from someone else. So let's see how this goes. Code editor. Yeah, whatever. Does this capture? Oh, it does. Good. Again, imagine me going into this blind, right? Because I haven't done this in a very, very long time. We need, we need a bunch of things. I think we just stick with a very basic looking website for now. We just make like a folder, do HTML, CSS. If I need React or something or some other framework to handle state management in a way that it would be easier than me rolling my own thing, then I'll use it. But for now, I think it's fine. But we need to make this stream management console. And what's funny is that once we're done this, there's actually another project that we need to do, which I think was, what's the other project again? There was 2 projects that I said that we need to do within the next couple of days. It was Stickspace. I forgot about Stickspace. I haven't actually planned out what I want to do for Stickspace yet. So we're going to go for like hardcore MVP stuff here. Oh God. Okay, it doesn't like what I'm doing. Oh God, that's really, really bad. Oh shit. Can I make this thing full screen? How do I make this full screen? I wish there was a more seamless full screen option for this stuff. Close that. Wait, why is there no why is there no seamless full screen option for most things? Actually, see management costs. Okay, we're gonna do index.html. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. What's that? Nobody. Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't remember. I don't know anybody who actually remembers like what the template is. Like, you know that thing. I don't know how to tell you. It's like the thing we have to specify the like doc type and like stuff. I don't know a single person who actually remembers this. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, we'll just use this. Wait. What's it again? This. Oh, we're cooked. It's been a while since I've done this. There we go. I actually wonder, what do I even have? HTML? I think I do. I do. Okay, I have HTML, CSS. Yeah, it's good. New version. Wait, what? What's a new version? I have to update this manually? Oh God. Oh, that's a rest. HTML hasn't changed in like years. This is an example paragraph. Yeah, here we go. Yeah. I know about this. Okay, cool. Oh God. Okay, how about sleuth? There we go. Good. There we go. I don't know. Okay, there we go. Fine. Good. Stream management console. Stream management console. We're gonna. This is a very basic one. So for text input, you just use an input component. So let me see if I can get the docs open. Again, this is a very weird setup too because the way that OBS handles multiple window captures is strange. If I don't minimize, it's gonna be very weird. But it should be fine. I think if I do this over here, this is Excalibur, the docs on the bottom. I think I put this on top as well. So I do this on top. I minimize this. So I keep the, well, I have to admit, it's hard to minimize this. I'll keep the code editor on top of this. I'll minimize the code editor, and I'll minimize everything else. All right? Yeah, it's good. Okay. This is going to be a very, very scuffed stream too, in terms of like what you're going to learn. It's basically no learning to this. I just want to get this done ASAP so that we can move on to the more fun stuff, which is the sandbox stuff. We only have about 2 more days left to get everything done. You were summoned by the gods of programming. Welcome. I actually don't know if there's any limits to. I don't think there's any limits to the title, is there? It just has to be one single line. I think that's it. We need YouTube API docs. Due tomorrow. Levels of energy. Yeah, basically. That's it basically is that, yeah. Because like, it's not that I don't like doing it, right? It is kind of fun. But the problem is that like there's things that I want to do more, and so the problem is that like I've spread myself too thin. This is an attempt for me to try to get as much time and energy back so we can focus all of our time on the sandbox side of things. Because, okay, the game concept that I want to make with you all is going to be really fun if it works. Like, really, really fun. And I could work on the server at the same time so you can see it from end to end, which should be fun. But the client side is also going to be very, very interesting too. So we'll see how it goes. I just need to see. So at the minimum, I want like a title thing. Okay, whatever. Sure. Fuck it. And no joke, yes, I actually copy paste it very, very often. When I program, I copy paste like a shit ton because it doesn't actually matter to me. Actually, I don't know a single programmer who like doesn't copy paste like a shit ton. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of people do this a lot. Okay, what's the validation? I don't want any min length. Is this optional? I'm pretty sure this is optional, right? Yeah, this is optional. Required. What's required? But I don't want a length. Nor do I care about the size necessarily. Wait, is size required? But yeah, it's just an attempt for me to gain back a lot of time that we're going to be losing, very very soon with the sandbox thing. But also because like, okay, imagine if we do the sandbox thing well enough, we could get a couple $1,000s, right? We can use that for the rest of the stream. I think that's pretty good. Spell check. What is this? Global attribute. The permitted values for spell check are empty string or no value. Follow the parent element's default behavior for spell checking. What? What other factors are there? Wait, this values are by reading spell checking may not reflect the actual state of spell checking within a control. The user's agent's preferences override the setting. What? It's something about spell check though, right? No. Speedle spell. Well, I'm gonna assume spell checking is a whole very complex, very, very browser specific thing. Doesn't really matter. Size, there it goes. How many characters wide the input value should be? What? Oh, I do remember. I do remember. How many can be seen? I do remember now. Yes. I remember this always being a funny setting for me because I was like, I don't know why that was never. Like, it kind of is, but I don't know why you would ever want to set that size, basically. I always found this attribute funny because it's. This feels like more of a concern of the styling, right? Especially in like a world of responsive design. Why would you ever want like a size like, of the number of letters that you can see in your input when it changes depending on your platform? And when you don't know the size beforehand because it's flexible. I mean, even in like a desktop browser window, I can drag this around. So like, why is there like a? It feels like one of those leftovers from a very old time that doesn't work anymore. Except for maybe like very specific government purposes where the guidelines tend to be out of date too. List. What the value of the list attribute? No. What's the name thing again? Which one of these is the value that it uses for label again? It was something like, was that the name or ID? I can't remember. Fuck it. Yeah, whatever. Good enough. And then we do title. There we go. Titel. Title. Title. Titel. Title. But yeah, expect this to be very, very scuffed. Again, I just want to get this over with because boy oh boy, we definitely need this. And text should just be a single one line, right? Text is a one line. Type. Yeah, there we go. Single line text fields. Yeah, here we go. Yeah. God, it's been so long since I touched web dev actually. A lot of my interviews actually have been in like different low level stuff. I've been mainly interviewing in like I'm loath to say, but I've been mainly interviewing in like Java, as well as some actually. I got one interview in Rust, which was interesting. It was the first time that I had like a true Rust interview that wasn't like some random startup that I knew from association. So it was weird to see like how they approach things and how the conversation went. It was actually very, very fascinating. That one I think I bombed a couple days ago just because like I'm not good enough in like Rust. But it was fun to like try. But I have not been in the web dev side for so long. What am I even trying to find? No, I need a placeholder. No. What's the event for this thing called again? What's the event called? There should be like an event there somewhere. It's change, right? Isn't it change? Change. Yeah, it's change. Events, change, and input. Which one of these are good again? The input event fires when the value has been changed to the direct result. Wait, which one was the One of these is newer or older. I can't remember which. There was one that people said was like experimental, like new experimental. What's the difference? Input? Wait, what? No, change event. Okay, that's the same thing. Sorry, wait. Oh god. Oh god, the documentation is going crazy. Wait. Input change. There we go. There was one that had a weird special case, and then there was one that like wasn't. What's this? The input is fired every time the value of the changes. This is unlike the change rate, which only changes when the value is committed. Right. Which is all we really care about is when it's committed. Which I mean, I guess in that single text line, it doesn't really matter compared to. Like it really only matters for like drop downs when you do like the combined search thing. I remember now. Okay, we'll do like a change event. Yeah, sure. Okay, well actually, how do I even load this up? What would this look like now? and I don't know, like a H1. Ooh, stream stuff. Ooh, stream stuff. Yay. There we go. No size. Good. Default sizing. How do you get rid of default sizing? What's that thing called again? CSS resets? There we go. I mean, do I care about the look of it? No. Don't get bothered. Focus on functionality. Fuck it. And then, okay, so what does the change event give again? The change event? Oh god, right, the type changes depending on the thing. It changes the value. Change explicitly, select no, loses focus for elements where it's typing such as text area. What? When the element loses focus after its value was changed. For elements where the user interaction is typing rather than selection. Only if it loses focus. Only when it loses focus. That's probably bad. I already see a problem with that. And this will probably... okay, the reason why I'm doing this stream too is because I kind of want to dissuade you away from certain programming streams. I know a lot of you want like really, really interesting programming streams, but a lot of you have been asking for like these ones too, not just the major projects that I plan out over like long periods of like time. But there's a specific type of programming project that I think does very, very well on stream, at least for like fun for all of us. And I'm gonna show you like right now. This is the kind that's like very, very boring because it's mostly me trying to remember what the fuck any of this is. What was the caveat for this event again? There was one caveat for this input that data is composing. What? After composition start and composition end. Yeah, whatever. We'll deal with the edge case. Doesn't really matter. Fuck it. Okay, let's try this out. All right. So if I do this and I do okay, what's the API call? Wait, sorry, I need to find the actual API call. YouTube data API. YouTube data API. Oh god. This one I can't show too because it actually leaks a bunch of information very, very like easily. So sadly, you can't see me going through the like docs here. If you do, everything's lost. Was it update? No, that's for captions. Update videos. Update videos. What is the thing to call? I need to put this inside the header, which is fine. We'll just do a fetch call. Is fetch is supported across everything, right? I remember there was like a period of time where fetch was not supported everywhere. Baseline widely available. Okay. Been available since 2017. Oh, Jesus. It's been a long time coming. What? He's actually programming? He said he's going to steal it from someone? HTML template? He wrote the page title. No way. He's going to steal it from someone? Listen, chat. It's not stealing, okay? Copy pasting is not stealing. Everybody does this because I don't know about you. I don't have an encyclopedic knowledge of every little detail of everything that I work with, right? But HTML especially, this preamble bit right here, okay? The doc type, and there's different various doc types. There's like a doc type specifically for the HTML5 too. So it's like, and okay, like here, like, like there's a shit ton of like stuff in it, which is like annoying. And then you can specify the like language and like stuff, and there's a whole bunch of things. There's like a bunch of meta stuff that like is available there that you should set always just to make sure that you don't get like a bad default. It's very like annoying to remember because it's stuff like this. Here, look. Here, like this one, the content type. I never remembered this stuff. Okay, wait. It's not stealing, chat, okay? Nobody can remember this. Do you remember HTTP equivalent and what it is and what does content type mean and what is like text type and what choice set makes sense, but like the rest of it, right? Kind of hard. Or even for like favicons. The favicon stuff, I never remember like what the actual thing to do it, like how to actually do it. You know what I mean? It's just weird. And we're gonna have to make a file here afterwards. Also, I wish I had autocomplete, but fuck it. We'll just go into this raw, I guess. Doesn't really matter. And I'm pretty sure I can do this. I'll just do it like this. Script.js. Fuck it. We'll just do it like this. It's okay. It's fine. It's all right. It's good. Oh, wait. I forgot. This thing is not self-closing. This is like this. Excuses, excuses. Look, when you see another programmer and they go to Stack Overflow, okay, you look at me and you go, oh, disgusting. You look at them and you go, good. Genius. He knows what he's doing. What game is this? This is the boring game. It's a boring game where nothing happens and where we just make a stream management console. In 3 hours, by the way, with 3 hours. Why are there Apple TV drops in the channel? I don't know. I don't know. Okay, chat, do you see it, by the way? Look, okay, good, thank you. I was wondering when somebody would bring it up because I wasn't sure if I was having a fever dream. I think we're sponsored by Apple or something. I don't know why. I don't know where the Apple TV thing came from. But yeah, if you subscribe, you can get an Apple TV. I guess if you... Wait, how much does that... Okay, Apple TV cost? Wait. Wait a minute, chat. This is a pretty good deal. Okay, Apple rewards... Apple TV rewards Twitch. We're about to... We have to do some math here. We need to do some math. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I found an article. We're doing some math. So Apple TV, what is Apple TV? It's like it's like Prime Television or Prime Video. What's it called? The Amazon version is like Prime TV or something. It's like Netflix. It's basically just another subscription TV service. I've heard they had like 1 or 2 good shows, but like yeah, they don't have any good like they don't have like any crazy good bangers. However, they sometimes have content that you can't find anywhere else. I think it was Jon Stewart or something who had a show on this. He was unabashed. He was like, "I will not change the content for some censorship thing." They pulled his show off, but they put that but they allowed the last episode to go on still, despite what happened. So I think this is a good deal though. So again, if you want Apple TV, any eligible new subs after your purchase, a code sent to your Twitch. So the reason why I think this is a good deal is because this. On the website, wait, 3 months of Apple TV. How does it work? You purchase an Apple device, buy an Apple device, free trial. Okay, so Apple TV, $12.99 a month for 1 month, right? You get an Apple device like an iPhone, you get 3 months free. You sub on Twitch to anybody. I'm pretty sure this is for everybody. Yeah, to any streamer, we'll give you Apple TV Plus. So give it to someone else because I don't really need it, okay? You then get 3 free months of Apple TV, which is the equivalent of the Apple, like the iPhone deal. However, for the cost of how much does a sub cost now? Twitch sub cost. How much does it cost to subscribe to myself? This is going to get kind of topsy-turvy. Wait, this might get topsy-turvy here. How much does it cost to subscribe to myself? Manage my sub. What? What do you mean manage my sub? I'm subbed to myself? Anniversary in 5 days. How does that make sense? That doesn't make any sense at all. I'm a founder of my own channel. What? Okay, wait, so Twitch sub prices. Okay, oh god. Just don't worry about it. Hey, Jermer. Hi, Jermer. To sub to anybody costs $8 Canadian, right? I mean, this is all in USD prices too. $13, 13 USD to CAD. What is German playing? I kind of want to go see now, and I kind of want to leave you all actually. I kind of want to go watch some German right now. It's $18 Canadian. So for the price of $8 Canadian, you get a value of $18 Canadian for 3 months, right? And for 3 months too. So this would cost $12.99 a month. So this would cost you. That's a fucking lot of money. Holy shit. To get the same value just from this, you would have to spend 54 Canadian dollars. But instead, you can sub to somebody's channel for 8 Canadian dollars, and then you get 54 Canadian dollars worth of value. I think that's a pretty good deal, and I imagine Twitch is maybe losing money off of this deal, because I can imagine this was the easiest thing to like spin. Because, okay, again, what did I say last time, right? When you see these like collabs and these like deals and like stuff, right? If you want to know who pays who, think of who is larger in terms of like relative to absolute numbers, right? It's a bit like PUBG and New Jeans. 200 million view song where Please 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 only has 80 million and that's topping the charts in America versus PUBG, which has a lifetime peak of like 8 million players or like so, right? I think it's very clear where the money goes there, as well as where the money is going here when we see the Twitch plus Apple deal. Inception. Just pure inception. So if you want Apple TV, you would guess Apple paid Twitch. That's a bold claim. I would think Twitch is paying Apple. But the reason why I think this is because here, okay, what are your subscriber benefits? Let's go to German again. Twitch.tv/German95. We're gonna use German as a test bed. I can't show a stream because I think that's stealing. Fuck, it's up there. Okay, look. What do you get as a subscriber, right? As a thank you from Germa, you get no ads, you get custom emotes, and you get sub badges. You actually get more there than you get here because I don't even have sub badges. Actually, these will be coming soon though. The sub badges will be coming soon. Is this thing being born? What the fuck? And then you also get ad-free viewing and subscriber streams. No one does this feature. This subscriber stream thing, right? So, in terms of value, you get literally nothing for your subscription except for what the streamer themselves adds. And I guarantee you, well, German has good emotes, but a lot of streamers, they don't really own the stuff behind the like emotes. So most of the time, people just go to 7TV and then they like do like stuff like like what's a good 7TV emote? 7TV. Oh wow. Okay, well then, okay, maybe not this one. Okay, well, like you know what I mean. The value for the subs is very low, and even though Twitch is owned by Amazon, they're also their own separate company. So if you look at like Twitch financials, for instance, I think there's Twitch financial statements. Is like member only streams on YouTube? Yes, it's exactly the same, but also on Twitch. No one uses it though because it's very stupid to do. I think I've only ever seen a handful of people do it, and then I don't know what it's like, but it feels like it doesn't really work out very well. Twitch, I don't know, quarterly reports. What's like a quarterly? There we go. No, I don't care about safety. Safety doesn't matter to me. I care about how much money you're making. God. Twitch? Oh, I guess they don't have it anymore because they rolled under Amazon. Amazon financial reports stock. I don't know, stock listing. Twitch Amazon stock report. What's it called again? God, dude, it's so hard to find anything on Google. I get like trash here. I get the worst random like fake websites on my first page. Jesus Christ. Twitch is losing money on their ventures. They're finding it very hard to make money off of people in general. Streamers make most of their money from bits and like donations and stuff, right? The subscription is a nice sort of daily buffer for what you have, so it's like your base minimum always. But primarily your money comes from sponsorships, then bits, or some people even go the other way. Some people go donations, bits, and then sponsorships. It really depends on how you run your stream. Then there's people like me who I don't tell you to sub, I don't tell you to like give bits because I'm very clear about how much money I like make, where you make nothing, right? And that's the majority of like people. So Twitch taking a cut of nothing is literally nothing. But even then, when they take a cut, they also can't take it all because then you get this like issue of like, okay, you drive off like creators and like stuff. But what do you get for value on like Twitch for your bits, for instance? Well, you get to make an emote larger. You get to like highlight your like message, and when you sub, you get some emotes that if the streamer doesn't do them, then you get nothing. You get badges if you don't do them, then you get nothing, right? That's why I think that Twitch is the one paying Apple to get the Apple TV deal, because as far as I can tell, I can't imagine Apple being like, "Ah, yes, clearly there's value here. Clearly you must have something here for me." Instead, you get nothing. And so it's like, why would you even bother subbing? Why would you even bother giving money? And why would you bother getting like Twitch Prime, for instance, right? Like Twitch Turbo, whatever it's called. Well, that's a good question. You don't really. You're just kind of doomed, and you don't really get much at all. Hell, you can even look at the Twitch Turbo benefits. That's it. I've reached the end of the page. It doesn't even fill out the whole page. There's like empty space at the bottom of the page. It's at 100% zoom. Default zoom level. It doesn't even reach the bottom of the page of benefits that you get for Twitch Turbo. That's bad. So that's why I think that they're paying Apple and like stuff, right? Because then presumably people who know they're gonna do the they're gonna do the calculations, right? And Apple users have disposable income, but they're also very stingy as fuck. So it's kind of hard to get a good sense of like how much money is going to flow. But I think it's gonna flow fairly well, because they see this as a better deal, but not because they see the service itself as a worth it deal. Just simply that they see the value of the deal. If they're like an Apple head, right? My screen is big though. It is a 2560 by 1440, so 1440p, right? I think that's good enough. What's like the 1440p market penetration? There's like a hardware Steam hardware survey monitor size. I think the Steam one is the most accurate because, well, not the most accurate, but I feel like most people on Steam have a fairly good level of what they're doing. Or like these are the people most likely I think to go for this stuff. So holy shit, most people play on 4K. What? Most people play on 1080p. 57%. What's the breakdown of this? 1440p is 20%. You're bigger than the average. Actually, true. Somebody is playing in 550 120. What? By 1440. What does this look like? What the fuck? If you had a 5120 by 1440 monitor, it would look like this. I'm not gonna lie, for programming, this would be kind of cool. I've been thinking about the programming setup, right? Because there's the other projects that we program, multiple windows coming together is kind of annoying. And what I wanted to do was combine them across into like a diagonal. It was either that or show you a multi-monitor view, but I don't know how annoying that would be. It's just two monitors. Whoa, okay, mister, I can afford two monitors over here. Jeez. But this one's seamless though. Like a single monitor seamless. Because the Steam hardware survey, right? It makes a distinction between your primary monitor versus your multiple monitors. So it's like, what do they all add up to versus what is your main monitor size at? Like, people add up to 7,000, all right? 2% of players add up to 7,000 out there. They're kind of crazy. And there's other, for I'm assuming some weird sizes, like 200 by 400. That's pretty good. Oh, sorry. But imagine, okay? One seamless screen. Everything here. Code editor in the middle. Documentation on the left. Funny memes on the right. Subway Surfer on the... That's what I'm missing. That's what I'm missing. I need... Give me a moment. What's up? I'm going to be downloading something really quick. If it lags, it should be fine. It's 200 megabytes. I'm pretty sure 200 megabytes won't lag me, but we'll see. I need Subway Surfer to like keep your attention. Just beyond this. Also, the alert system is on, so if you want to oil up, you can now. Or if you want to do like, I don't know, like anything else. I'm just waiting for someone to subscribe because then the thing plays. And it's going to be so funny, even though I don't want you guys to subscribe. If there's one of you who's like rich and you don't want to, and you don't mind blowing money, please do. It would be funny. Okay, wait. I'm missing the game. Wait. Give me a second. How is this going to work? I think the game needs to be at the very top, right? I think it goes to the very, very top. And I do like a green screen on it. Continue. Okay. How does this work? Graphics. Color key. Alpha. Yeah, why don't I just do alpha? What? Yeah, why can't I just do alpha? Isn't that better? No, it's not better. What? Allow transparency. Yo! Alright. And then, what's the Twitch integration again? Twitch integration? Connect. Alright. I think what you do is you type connect or something, right? Was it Rusty's retirement? Twitch integration. What's the commands again? And fuck, there's no documentation for this. Twitch. Documentation. Why is it a Google? Okay, everyone type join. Exclamation mark join. You can join as a farmer. Can I make this larger? It's actually kind of cool, actually. you, you. How do you make it larger? Huh? How do you grow the size? How do you grow the size of this window? Zoom in. Nice. Okay, it's too. That's. It's just too large now. I think that's good. I think that's good. Yeah. Okay. So now you can join as a farmer by typing exclamation mark join. We have the Subway Surfer thing now. But I'm just saying, chat, this is kind of a cool setup. All right. Think about this. You program code editor in the middle, documentation on the left side. Actually no, documentation and the the preview, the live reload on the left side. Memes on the right side. Subway Surfer at the very top. Rusty's retirement at the very bottom. I can even add Subway Surfer. Wait.
I'll make it quick. I'll keep it clean.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I know that triggered PTSD in most of you. Sorry. Where's my Subway Surfer? Oh. Even better than Subway Surfer. Even better than Subway Surfer. It didn't play. Oh, you know what? It doesn't work. And chat, please only do it if you're rich. It doesn't work if it's a gift. Fuck. I'm sorry, chat. This is why I also want to build. Okay, so the reason why we're building the stream management console because I also wanted to build an actual better alert system. Their first party alert system I think sucks a lot because the way that you combine the various different effects and the triggers for those effects is very weird. You can't combine triggers for an effect. It's a very stupid way of doing it. So instead, I'll play it manually. Okay, just pretend like that was your name there, okay? Just pretend like that was your name. Just pretend like that was your name there. Thanks. Man, that sucks. Wait, let me fix this too. Oh god, there's so many things to fix. I don't know how to make it any sub. How do you make an alert on any single sub? Subscription is tier prime. No, I don't care about tiers. What? Resubscription. New subscriber. Yeah, month subscribed at least one. Why doesn't it work? You can replay alerts. No, I can replay alerts, but not really too. This is not whatever alert system that you think it is. This is not like Streamlabs. I was trying out and because I was trying out the Twitch official system. The Twitch official system sucks. You can test the alert by sending one, but you can't replay it because they don't expose the queue of alerts. But also, the problem is not in this case the queue of alerts. The problem here is that there is no alert because they see gift subs different from regular subs, which is fine, but I have to copy the configuration over it twice. Basically, the way that they do it, it's a very stupid system. This is how they do it. Here. The way they do it is like this, and I don't know why their alert system works like this. You must first define a single condition. Why would I use it though? Because I wanted something easy that was simple to set up at the start, and then I wanted to see if it was good, and I only realized the problems with it now. Basically, the answer to your question can be boiled down to you don't know until you use it, and there's no nobody says anything about it, so it's I might as well just use it to try it. Especially because it's already built in and it has fairly good tools. I don't want to go too crazy and integrate a bunch of things to make things work, right? But the way it works right now is like this. You specify a condition, you then specify an action. A series of actions, right? So you have your your action bubble, let's say your action list. This is fine, except for one problem, which you may immediately notice just by looking at this. And so on and so forth. Your condition list is one max. There can only be one single condition. So even if you want to do the same action for every single one, because like I don't want to make a distinction between like gift subs versus subs, right? I don't think I ever would, because like what's the point of making them distinct? It doesn't really make sense, right? Except for maybe the like text, but even then, you would think that the actions themselves would have the conditions, not that the actions are derived from a condition, if that makes sense. It's a different way of looking at it, but basically everything is pinned around what the condition is. This is the actual identifier, or like the actual like linchpin for this entire thing, right? This is the linchpin for their alert system. It's a very weird system, and I only realize the issues with it now when I use it, right? Which is, I mean, that's like the answer to like everything. So you only know the issues when you use it. Then we see it. Ideally, your system should probably be like this. And it's why I want to make my own, or maybe integrate Streamlabs, but I need to figure out how the TTS stuff works as well. So TBD on if we make our own or if we just use Streamlabs. TBD. Because I know Streamlabs can handle API calls, but I'm just curious if I can get a good queue going across multiple things. You might have... The way that it should work is like this. You have an action, or you have actions. There are other services besides Streamlabs. No, I know, but I'll get to that in a moment. Actions. So your action should have a series of conditions that follow it. And then these can sort of like interact between each other. So they can kind of cross this barrier back and forth. That's ideally what you want. You want a bi-directional connection between these that can then read the input of like either or to then do more complex actions. You don't want it all to be done on one single condition. You want the conditions to then lead to an action, and the action can be configurable, variable based on the conditions. Why don't I use other platforms besides Streamlabs? Recognition, and then thus safety. I know there's other services, but as far as I can tell, those are the only ones that I care about, which is like the only ones that I know for sure and that I care about are like good is that Streamlabs. Is like either Streamlabs or, you know, Twitch's like official service. Streamlabs is really bad these days. UI is messy and a lot of clutter. But that doesn't matter. You're focused more on the design aspect of the UI versus what ultimately results into a stream effect, right? So I don't care about the way it looks. The looks of it actually doesn't matter to me. I care about, you know, this is a non-factor to me. I care about mainly this thing here. Stability, as well as support. From you as the configuration perspective, because I'm assuming you're looking at this from the designer perspective and also as the person who's helping other people set it up. You care about the look and how it like works and like, you know, the way it like feels and stuff like that, which is important. I'm not saying that it's not important. I'm saying that it doesn't result in anything different in the final output. The final output is based on the capabilities, not necessarily how it looks. So I don't really care if it's messy or cluttered. So that doesn't really dissuade me. The dark pattern with subscription models. I'm curious what you mean by that. Because as far as I know, let's see. Streamlabs subscription model. I mean, to be fair, you can do a lot without the subscription model. So I'm very curious what you mean by the subscription model. Do you mean like Streamlabs, like the actual pro model, where it's like you have to go all the way to like pro to like get like, I don't know, like random effects and like stuff like that, which doesn't really matter. Like what's the dark pattern with their model? Streamlabs subscription model dark pattern. Like what's the dark pattern? Well, canceling my TradingView subscription. Okay, well that's a different thing. How companies use dark patterns. I know about dark patterns. What is the Streamlabs controversy? Because the only controversy that I remember, well, there was two, was that one, the way that they market their OBS derivative product by naming it literally OBS was very confusing to the original project. So they have two marks against them. This is the guy that made Slobs? Yes. Exactly the same. And so there was two controversies about them, right? So Streamlabs controversies. Two. Again, if you want to... Wait. If you want to farm, type join without quotes. Good. You get random benefits from subscription model, but they keep pushing it and canceling a subscription is hidden, and use small button text for cancellation. That's fine. I think. Well, no, it's not fine, but rather that's the status quo, and I understand that you don't want that, but at the same time, it's like, is that going to affect how I use the platform for my stuff? Right? It affects. I guess, like, from my perspective, I only care about it from a like end result perspective. As long as the business isn't doing something super egregious, then I don't necessarily care too much because the end result is roughly the same. But you just said it's a dark pattern. I know, but like what I let me rephrase this question so it sounds easier to comprehend. Does it matter that it's a dark pattern for all intents and purposes if you don't care about interfacing with the subscription side of it? Because again, what do you get from the Streamlabs Pro thing here? Streamlabs Pro benefits. Pro level creator apps. Read more by Kevin. Why should I become a pro? So you get a bunch of pro gifts or effects, which I mean I don't really care for, right? So it's like, why would I pay for it when I can use the free platform side of it, and it's mostly fine for me. Again, this is just looking at it from my perspective, right? Even if you go for the pro side, even if it's hard to sort of get out of, it feels like the same thing for any other service anyways. Unless you find one that's really easy and has the same capability, then maybe. But so far, when I look at the capabilities and what it has, as well as the overall ecosystem that it kind of brings, it seems like they're still at the top of their game in terms of the capabilities that you ultimately get down here. But you're right that I'll consider that as a controversy if you care about the thing. Or Stream Elements. Yeah, or even, yeah, I mean, Stream Elements too, yeah. In my mind, they're surprisingly very, very similar for what you get. Except there was one, Stream Elements has like a very, apparently I've heard the sponsorship program is like good. So Stream Elements controversies. Stream Elements is a scam. No, I don't. And also, one of these had like a leak of something. One of these leaked like a bunch of API keys or like something. I'm trying to see. If the glitch leaves streamers. Oh yeah. Well, there's a glitch with the sponsorship stuff too. Streamlabs. They have different overlay systems where you prefer Stream Elements for overlays. Yeah, that's like fine. But it's important to recognize that like that's down to like preference, right? So my preference is always like, I'm purely from a functional standpoint, I only care about if it can be used, right? Like I'm hearing what you're saying. I just care about like what's the end result and what can I make with it and how much can I integrate into it, right? Basically, what problem can I solve? It has a lot more flexibility. No, that I kind of agree with, but also the Streamlabs offering is like getting better. Like from at least from what I've seen, they seem very, very similar for what you get. And it doesn't really matter which you like use in terms of like the end goal capability. So, anyways, what I'm trying to say is this recognition, brand name recognition, the looks in the UX doesn't matter. I care about the stability and the support and the capabilities. As far as I know, Streamlabs hasn't really had many issues so far, in most part, except for like the slobs naming thing. The stability seems to be roughly okay. I can't remember which of these companies had the controversy about leaking information, which is the only one that I'm like very iffy about, especially if I'm going to use, like, say, Stream Elements sponsorship program, because you don't want payment information to leak, because payment information leaking leads to your house address being doxxed. So, controversy. Again, I'm not saying that what you're saying isn't valid, but it's only valid within the context of somebody who spends all their time fiddle fucking with this stuff, right? Whereas ultimately what you kind of get is a one and done deal. You set it up and then you just kind of leave it there. And then these things come more into play of like, okay, can you set it up at all? And will it last for a long time? And if it doesn't last for a long time and something goes catastrophically wrong, can you call them up and then ask them, hey, what the fuck is going on, right? And then I think Stream Elements was like the sponsorship glitches. I think sometimes this doesn't pay out. Sponsorship payout are iffy, but this is like a whole different section of their site. I'm just saying that this is included here. Glitchy. And then one of them had this problem of like leaked data. To me, these are both fairly equal. So it's like it doesn't really change my mind on either or. And any other third party platform, I've like that's a huge risk to like take when anything could happen and you really don't want it to leak anything about you. So I don't know. Seems very risky. Again, I hear your remarks. I hear your remarks about these, but to me, at least looking in, they seem like roughly the same thing in terms of the overall risk that you take on. And if it's at that point just down to a dark pattern of subscription that I probably won't use, but even if I use, it's like sure it's a dark pattern, but it's also not impossible to get rid of. Versus say and then versus like everything else here, it doesn't really seem like it's much of a needle to like move for me to experiment, right? I look at this in terms of like the innovation tickets. Okay, when you make something, you have a number of innovation tickets. Think of it like a meal ticket. What are you gonna spend your meal ticket on? I forget the actual term that the parable uses. It's like a very old, weird programming story, but from I want to say PG or something from Paul Graham of YC fame, Y Combinator fame. I think he's the guy who looks at this. Basically, you have a limited number of these, so very limited. They shift. They leech focus. They leech focus and capability. So they leech focus and energy. And it takes time to undo. I think this is a factor that he kind of talked about, but he didn't really. But it takes time to pivot. It takes time to pivot. I'm not going to innovate too crazy on like a new third-party service that, feels like out of nowhere. I'm going to use one of these two and I don't really care which. I'm just going to choose whichever one can get me to my capabilities, which is can I integrate like other systems and queue up their activations through this one system, right? Whether that's Monster TTS for like weird AI voices for TTS, whether that's different types of alerts for different things, whether that's future stuff that's gonna come into play that has more sound and visual elements as well. We'll see how it goes. But if I can do all of this and also have other things like audio ducking for my alerts, so it handles all of my sounds fine, which more of an OBS thing and a compressor thing, but I talked about that before. There's different sources that come into play. There's a lot. I mean, we drew this graph last time. If I can get all of that in like either platform, then yeah, I can see this coming down to the matter of like, okay, which one is good? But I have a feeling one of them is gonna fail in some way, and I'm gonna have to go with whichever one gives me at least the capabilities, right? Everything else is kind of like extra. Like if I can get away from dark patterns, sure. If I can get away with like very good UX that's flexible and lets me do things, sure. But I need to make sure that it actually works first and that it's very stable over a long period of the time. And these are the only two that I know for sure are very, very stable, very, very like good over a long period of a time. And they have a good enough system that like works. It's just down to the matter of like, can it do everything that I need? And I'll just learn the one and I'll just use one because it doesn't really matter. But what matters more is that my time is going to be wasted. My focus and my energy is going to be gone. And if I spend all of my time trying to figure out, how the ecosystem is like, I'll be spending less time on other things about my stream, right? Which doesn't seem like much, but the audio is actually very, very like I spend a lot of time like fine tuning certain aspects, right? Like you hear on like Discord, for instance, or if I call my buddy in like a game, sounds a lot better in general compared to what it was months ago when we used to have like Discord calls for like games, right? So I just want to make sure that I'm spending my limited innovation tickets on the right things that move the needle in terms of quality, and that I don't, push too hard towards things. Obviously, barring any major controversies, like if this was, I don't know, if Streamlabs was a person and they murdered someone, I wouldn't buy something from them, right? But this isn't really the case. So it's like it comes down to innovating very carefully, if that makes sense. All I'm trying to say is, right? I get what you're saying about Streamlabs, and I get what you're saying about like, why would I use Twitch's system? And I get your sentiments about all the stuff, but I also recognize that, hey, there's only so much that I want to like innovate on, and it's nice when I can focus on the things that matter, I think, overall for the general quality of stream versus these extra goodies, right? These are just goodies to like have. And so it's nice to get it out of the way in a very easy way and to focus on, okay, what's the easiest solution that gets me going that's fully integrated. I thought the Twitch system was that until, I recognized, like, I didn't realize that it treats gift subs and there's no way to combine them until just now. So it's like, my answer is I didn't know until now, right? When it should be more like this, which I know for sure Streamlabs and Stream Element has. So it's really going to come down to integrations now. So capabilities, this includes integrations. And the integrations I've talked about before with TTS and like stuff, it's going to come down to this portion now. Depends on how easy this is, and if it's really easy on either side, then it'll be down to like the extra stuff. But other than that, I'm not going to experiment too hard. So we'll see. And again, in worst case, we can make our own custom one, but I'm hoping not to have to do that until we absolutely need to, for very specific purposes. Which is, I'll get into that in a future programming project. So now you know what what we're doing here. Now you know what we're doing here. Okay, I'm tired. There was a very long segment of me trying to explain what my choices were here. How do I close this? No, keep that. Can I make this dark mode? No. Don't bother. It's too much work. Anyways, let's go back to the fun stuff. What's this? Yeah, okay. Well, we need this change this change event. Okay, cool. I need to just need to make a stupid file. Let's make a file. What do I call the file again? Script.js? Yeah. Yeah, I'll just make file. I mean, just do I don't know. Yeah, fuck it. And then what's the parameters of this event actually? I have no clue what the parameters of this event are. Sorry, you couldn't even see that. God, this is gonna be annoying. I would do a display capture, but then I don't want to like leak a bunch of stuff. There has to be an easier way to do the programming stuff, right? Like to stream it. There has to be an easier way. Besides having a bunch of windows, and then at least OBS handles the minimizing thing, but it doesn't handle the foreground focus thing. Because it doesn't care about foreground focus, because it's based on sources. It's based on source order in the list. What if we program... I'm just kidding. We won't go too crazy. But what if we did program something, like a source in OBS that was like a window capture, that could capture multiple windows, that would then respect OS like focus state. So whichever one is currently focused has the current view. And then if it gets unfocused or minimized, if there's another window in that list that's focused, it would switch to that. Chat, I might be onto something here. I'm going to write this down. I'm going to write this down. I can't show you this. That might work. That might be pretty cool, actually. Wait. OBS multi-window source. This is a very niche use for only programming stuff, so only really for programming streams. Like a window capture, but contains a list of windows that you can specify that will automatically shuffle visibility. This is kind of how you use a separate X session instead of an X session for lessons. Exactly. I was thinking of that too. I was thinking of that exact same model, where you just open up like nested sessions of like something, right? The problem with that is that it works for certain things, but then you incur a cost of complexity of maintaining it, and I'm on Windows, which doesn't have that. So I don't really have a good solution here. If I wasn't on Windows, maybe. But because I'm on Windows, I think it's easier to just handle it from a plugin perspective. Plus, it'd be interesting anyways, because then it's like you could technically use this plugin on any platform. And then it also forgoes the need to know the technicalities of like how to use like an X session, how to input from certain things into a specific session versus others, so on and so forth, right? By the way, I want to say it's insane to me that you programmed your teaching environment. Not insane as in like a bad way. I mean like insane as in like a cool way, right? Again, everything you guys are telling me are cool. I'm not disagreeing with you because I hate your ideas. Nor do I hate you, all of you, right? No matter what your ideas are. I'm just disagreeing with you because I feel like it's not the right solution yet, and I know that we can get there eventually, right? But if your solution is the right solution, we can only find out later when I actually get around to like trying it. So right now we're all in like limbo. But I will say at least that the one thing that I do know for sure, if you program if you build an entire nested X session like setup just to teach people things, I think you're insane in the membrane in a good way, but also like a bad way. The problem is that the second session doesn't have graphics acceleration. Exactly. Doesn't matter for you, but bad for games. Yeah. I mean, again, it makes sense why for the context, right? If you're teaching somebody anything, I mean, not anything. If you're teaching someone how to like play League of Legends, probably bad, right? If you're trying to coach someone, then it's bad. But if you're teaching somebody how to like I don't know write or not like anything, if you're trying to teach someone how to like suck dick, right? It's perfectly fine to have it in like a slow window. It doesn't really matter, okay? All they need to know is that it's like the range of motion, right? You only to teach someone how to suck dick, you only care about two specific emotions, right? The beginning and then the end. The middle doesn't really matter. I'm sure they can infer how to get to the middle. Right? They only really care about the beginning and the end. So low frame rates doesn't matter on your video capture. Multi-window source. They specify that will automatically respect OS windowing events. Like minimizing, lost focus, automatically displaying the window that contains the highest priority at the top. That is currently the highest priority. Instead of relying on the person to manually control it themselves. This has to be a real thing already. Multi-view, no. OBS plugin, display capture, only certain windows. I want like specific multiple windows. OBS window capture, multiple windows, automatic focus switching. Hey, define rules. Which window title should OBS switch to what scene? What's this? Automatic screen switcher. It switches scenes within OBS according to the title of the foreground app. That sounds disgusting. For your use case, create two scenes. One with a window capture of Chrome, the other with a window capture of Visual Studio Code. I can embed scenes. Maybe doable via scene. Automatic scene switcher. Each scene contains regex or something. I'm pretty sure it's regex. To find window that will then be the active window to display. What happens if they're all open? If they're all open on multiple monitors, can it handle via focus? Or only if it's currently opened? When fine, okay, then we nested scenes inside of main scene that will then switch between them as windows come in and out of view. How deathly is this to performance? Does this even work? Or does it switch out of the main scene because it only works at the root of the hierarchy. We'll figure this out. I'll figure that out later. It's fine. We'll figure it later. Anyways, what am I saying? I thought the Lethal Company session would go longer, so I had a bit of coffee. The problem is that when I have a bit of coffee, I kind of go wild. So, what was I saying again? What was this? Do not be John Lennon. Okay, well, that's... I don't know why I said that. Oh, I remember now. Pure socialism. Yeah, fuck it. It's good. It's done. It's whatever. Back to here. Okay, what does the event look like? What does the change event look like, huh? What's this? A generic event. You're kidding me. What's inside the event? I don't know what's inside the event. Event that target that value. Okay, that's good enough. Wait, do you get... Is this structuring by default? I actually don't remember. It's been... Okay, so JavaScript is weird. When you write a lot of JavaScript code, what happens is that every browser has a different standard for what you have, right? So you end up very often having to use a transpiler that will then write code for a specific type of platform, and it'll have polyfills to handle certain types of behavior. I don't remember if destructuring write-in function arguments requires a whatchamacallit, a polyfill to handle that will handle that, or if it's already built in. So JS destructuring. What is the current market share of destructuring assignments? Is this widely available? I can't tell. Why is there a gotcha? Firefox. See implementation notes. Non-standard from Firefox 2 to 40. What's my current version? I can't show this. What's my current version? Help? About. Well, I'm on version 128, so maybe this is probably fine to use now. Okay, Firefox for Android. No one uses Firefox. I use Firefox for Android. You didn't really program it. There's a program for that called Zephyr or X. There's a built-in way on X on the Wayland too, you think. In Skype, this is what it says. You want to show full screen or a window. You want to show only several windows, but not full desktop just in case there's something bad in there. Okay, what is the worst? Don't tell me. And so that you can switch to other windows without disturbing what I show the student. The obvious way to do it is VM, but VMs are bloated and it's annoying that you can't easily use programs in space. I do agree, yeah. That's the problem with VMs too. And also the problems with VMs is that they're an entirely separate space. They're sandboxed. Because you're correct that's the best solution is to use a sub-session of an X session. Because it's you get to just transfer things across, which is very, very easy, which is nice. So that's actually nice. Because again, VM is fully sandboxed, which is annoying because you don't want a sandbox environment where it only takes a portion of your machine. You just want your machine to have things. You just want to show a very specific view of things. Is there such a thing for X session Zephyr? Zephyr X RM solution. Clinical teams to provide a successful service offering. Remote spirometry reimbursement guide. Why remote respiratory monitoring? If you had to run a clinic and you needed to know whether or not someone was breathing to see if they're dead or alive, would you trust a program to do it remotely? I don't know. Also, we have 50 minutes left. I just want to let you all know that. We have 50 minutes left. This is going to be bad. Zephyr on X sessions. Nested X sessions with... it's Zephyr with an X. Sorry. Huh. This may be useful to work around a badly written application. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Nested X server that runs on as an X application. Super micros. What the fuck is a super? Oh, super microservers. It will be controlled with a Java IPMI KVM viewer application. While the server is rebooting, the application frequently recreates its window and steals focus from your current window. It happens several times per minute and makes your work impossible. Okay, well. There has to be something like this, right? Nested X Windows. On Windows. Windows, multiple windows. Multitasking. The wrong thing. Task view. No. Not a desktop. Actually, Does the desktop work? Let me make. Okay, if I disappear, let me know. Kinda. Yeah. But also, no, not really. Wait, let's just try this. Wait, let's just try this. Can I rename the stream? Danger, do not leak. Okay. Let's try with a bit of a small amount of danger. I'm gonna close some things that may leak, okay? I'm close some things. Leave some interesting links open. Maybe I'll load some SayGex. Let's see. We'll load some SayGex. By the way, I find it funny that one of you tried to use SayGex as like an alternative to the swear filter. Also, one of you sent me docs on like the swear filter. I'm not gonna get rid of it. I can't get rid of it. I can tune it, but like I don't want to tune it too much because they have very specific rules about how you should tune it. It's already at the minimum. Look, you're too lazy to close and reopen all the furry porn after every lesson. It's fair. It's fair. Understandable. We're trying something here. Wait. Just give me a second. And if you're wondering why we're not programming, I blame chat. We're gonna try this. I blame chat as a whole. Solid for audio. Okay, good. Okay. Problem is, it doesn't hide my desktop files. New desktop 2. New desktop 7. New desktop 7. I have 7 different desktop folders. What the fuck? Not our fault that you go for 20-minute tangents. Okay, but do you enjoy them though, right? If everybody enjoys them, then I don't necessarily care. And hopefully it's enjoyable. Otherwise, good luck. 20 minutes? Only 20. All right, let's try this out. Let's see if this works. Display capture. Worst case, you see my real identity. Best case, this just works. Okay, primary monitor, capture mouse. Yeah, that's good. Okay, good. Cool. Okay, if I Alt-Tab, you only see the... Wait. Windows may have already a built-in solution that I can just use next time. Okay. We have a solution. We have an easier way to capture all these things. Wait, chat. We have an easier way. Code editor. Do this. We'll do this. We don't even need a single... Not a single window capture is needed. And yes, my desktop is not the Windows XP desktop. That's just a fake one. I know many of you always get fooled by it, and it's very funny when you do, but I need to remind you all, it's just a fake. It's just a phony. Bring you over here, bring you over here, bring you over here. Okay. I'll even hide OBS because, well, should I hide OBS? No, I need to read chat. I'm addicted to social. I'm addicted to clout. So I have to keep OBS onto this monitor. Do you see Rusty's game? Where's Rusty? You do. I'm addicted to clout, so I can't get rid of OBS on this window. We need to keep it. I'll leave my audio set up elsewhere. I think it's fine. Yeah, leave my audio set up plus the music player. Yeah, it's good. Parasocial parasite. Parasocial parasite aware. Now look. Now it's good. So now if I Alt-Tab, you only see like OBS and stuff. It's not that bad, right? You only see 4 windows. You don't see my furry porn either. Join without quotes. Good bit. Very good bit. Okay, wait. I'm gonna show you how to build like a solution design document, okay? Solution design. Goals. Result. Good bit. It worked, didn't it? Yes, it worked, chat. It worked. Where are you actually? You guys farming? How you guys doing? We're doing pretty good actually. Wait, it actually worked. What the fuck? Wait, it did. I think they only parse up until they see at least the first command. I think the parser for like how they handle the chat messages is like very simple. But thank you for working out on the farm. Because of you, Rusty will retire soon. Result? Don't do this. Just use Windows multitask view, multiple virtual desktops feature plus display capture. And don't forget to hide the display capture when going back on main. Krusty's retirement. Okay, you're all distracting me. You know what's funny? At work, actually, this is how it goes. So very often, like when I used to work, right, back in the office, me and my coworker would sit beside these, like, because obviously, I'm not kidding you. The developers got pushed into the dark corner. It was so fucking funny. It was so funny. Every other team had like windows where it was nice and bright, like very very bright, right? The developers were pushed into the one corner of the room that didn't have any open windows. So it would be like completely dark. And then, my coworker, who was like the very social person of the tech team, she would look up and she would go like, "Man, why is it so dark over here?" And she like look at the time and then she was like, "Wow, it's so like dark outside." Then she looks around the office. She's like, "Why is everyone so like bright?" And she realizes that, oh wait, we just don't have like a window. But anyways, this would happen at work. Very often we would just like, because it's like an open desk situation. So my desk is literally, I'm not even kidding you. I think my desk was like this close to my coworker. It was like here. Like my desk was like, I don't know, what's like a good desk view here? Desk one, desk. There we go. Our desk space. This was just one shared desk space, right? Okay, you can't lie though. That's a crazy straight freehand line. That's an insanely straight freehand line. Holy shit, it's kind of cracked. My setup would be over here. Okay, so this would be stick side. I have my little computer set up over here. I mean, we use laptops because we had to be mobile, and they worked mostly fine. So I was over here. Coworker one. And then we had the delight of sitting with our contractor, who I still really, really enjoy working with because he's my friend now. So contractor. But because he would work remotely and only come in like once a month, honestly, this side, I'm not kidding you. I'm pretty sure there were like there were more spiders here than there was like people at some point. There was so many spiders on our desk because this side had like a weird like Monday stand that was just like always like dark because it's literally there's a wall over here. There's no window. There's just a wall here. It's like bricks. It's a brick wall. So like imagine the amount of spiders that like keep falling off of this thing. Okay, stupid monitor stand, and then he has like this like because everyone gets their own generic monitor, and then it's like this. That's an insane monitor draw. Holy shit, I'm so good at art. And there would always be spiders, and we'd have to like sweep them off. We didn't want to kill them though, so we would like sweep them towards that side, and they were like house spiders, so they kept the flies away. I I I I love these spiders. Anyways, because of the close proximity between me and my coworker, right? We'd very very often get distracted by what we're like doing. Very often, give me 1 second. Very often, I'm very distracted today. I'm so sorry. The coffee, the coffee makes me more distracted. That's why I only save it for the games. Okay, I only save the coffee for the games. Very often, because we'd be here, we'd be very distracted because we're bored with like just like working. Working is boring, Chad. I'm gonna tell you right now. I've never been more bored in my life than like making money. Not to say that making the money was bad, but more to say that I really enjoyed everything but being at the office. So very often they would churn to me coffee, copium. No, Chad, trust me, it's coffee. If I didn't have the coffee, I could do this. Okay, worst case, because I have to go in like half an hour. I mean, I might as well just go now at this point, honestly. I'll just upload a VOD of me doing it offline tonight because I'm going to be staying up late tonight, anyways, to finish some things on the server side. Anyways, either way, you get content. It just may not be live. Okay, think about this. Okay, would you rather see me go through the MDN docs to figure out how to get an on-change event going for a change event handler for like a stupid little thing that just updates the title of like something? Or would you rather hear my story about work? Huh? Which do you want? Which do you want to hear? I need to go to the doctor. I need to. We need to figure this out. I don't know why this is so entertaining to me. But yeah, so very often we would just be stuck there. And very often we would like, because, sometimes we'd have to wait for something, for like a build to push the mobile, for us to like test and like stuff like that. And we always did like test on device as like a final run. That we would just kind of like sit there and then we would just like start talking about like weird things that we talked about, right? The thing is though, is that we would just keep talking and talking because all of the coworkers were like bored. So I also sit across like my other coworkers. So like my other coworkers are like over there even. So they're over behind me. So it's like, you have like other people over here on the opposite far side. And we're all just like hanging out and stuff. And they would join the conversation too. Everybody would join the conversation on their end. And then at some point, like I'm pretty sure most of the time we didn't spend any time working. We were just like talking most of the time. And honestly, sometimes it led to good ideas, right? Because we had this like collaborative way of working. It felt very weird at first for me because I'm not very used to collaborative working, but when it works well, you start to get into this mood where everybody's able to share ideas freely, and the creative juices start flowing. And it's like, oh yeah, this is it, right? Like this is how we do it. It was nice and solid. It was a very solid run of like things. Um, Well, yeah, this is just the reality of programming stuff. Is that it's so much of it is like boring research that my brain. It's really hard for my brain to like stick to it. So I try my best to force myself to. But as you can probably tell, live streaming it is very hard. I'm trying to learn how to, but dear God, is it very difficult. This is one of those programming videos. Step one, start. Paste all the code. Step three, done. Have you ever seen? You've just reminded me of one of the best YouTube channels I've ever seen. And it's too late for you now. You can't back out of it anymore. Biscuit. I love Biscuit. Um, where's the stuff? Well, I don't know if it's this. Yeah, it's this. This dude, remember that thing that I posted last time, which was that editor? The reason why I was so hyped about this editor is because it's the code editor for Biscuit's videos. Biscuit is a very old figure in, I guess, like tech stuff in general. He's the guy who made this site. It always was an art stream. No, chat, this is not an art stream, okay? It's the way it is. He maintains and made this site, taskvideos.org. If you've ever seen these task videos, they're kind of insane. I think I showed them last time. The tasks of like Castlevania and like stuff, but he's the guy who like made this. So he actually he maintains all of this. You think you might have seen him. He's very prolific. Very prolific. His videos are very interesting. Even he struggles with it too, to the point where when he does it live, you'll see very rarely. I'm not kidding you. Look at the preview. The preview, okay? Look at the preview, okay? Look. Look at how much code he like writes, okay? And look. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. He wrote 2 lines of code. Bar for bar, word for word, I've done more code than he has in the last hour. Not even kidding you. It's just a reality of like what happens when you go live stream chat, okay? It's just a reality. But also, when he doesn't want to do that, he actually pre-records his stuff. And then we're gonna talk about why his code editor is very cool. He talks about it in this video, but the way he does it is very interesting. He made this code editor, which is that editor, by himself after a recreation of another code editor from a long time ago, which was the Joe editor, I think. Or some other editor. Was it the Joe editor? It was something. Because, yeah, Joe. Because for some reason, it didn't compile on his machine in a specific way, and he wanted to write it for 16-bit DOS. And he just says, like, okay, he just wanted to write it because he just wanted to avoid problems with mixed callbacks, because Joe is kind of an old editor that no one really uses anymore. So what he did was he made his own code editor that copies down everything that he does, so that when he writes things like this, so he spends a long time coding, he can actually play it back as a recording, which is really, really cool. So here, look, he can play it. Okay, well, he's playing music. Sorry, he's playing music. So stupid. Okay, well, look, he's gonna show. Please show it. There we go. Look. That's his little code there. When does he show it? At some point, he shows it when it starts to go and it starts to replay all of his like code typing. Can't remember where. I think he got distracted because now he's just making music. I don't think, Chad. I don't think it's possible to live stream coding. I actually don't think it's possible to live stream coding if you're not already capable of like large amounts of focus. If you're not already capable of large amounts of focus, I think you're doomed. Because the way that it is right now, he went from talking about his code editor, and now do you know what this is? He's making MIDI music. Look at the amount of code he wrote. It's the same amount that he started with 10 minutes ago. And then he's just making MIDI music. I don't understand. Why is he making MIDI music? What is this? Here we go. This is the playback. So this is where it gets cool. I think this is the coolest part of it. So he can do the playback. I think. Does he do the playback? Is this it? Shuffle. DOS. Oh, it's a DOS box. Is it the playback? It is. So see how it's doing like a capture here? It's a very interesting setup. Basically, he's done the capture, so now he plays back all the typing events with like a very defined like amount of like delay between the key presses. It's a very cool system actually, because he may spend a lot of time thinking about this one particular line, but when it plays back, it's just a single program that's like being made. It's a fascinating way of making a programming video. In my mind, this is a very understandable way of handling things, especially when you make programming videos, because A, it looks cool as an effect, but B, it's a lot better than the reality of programming, which is you either get distracted or you think about problems for a long time and you think about more things and ideas kind of crop up as is, like as you go through things. So the fuck are the desktop icons? Right, X is on Windows too. Yeah, he's using Windows. He's using a very old version of Windows though. This isn't even that like old. It's only 9 years ago. Icons back then were pretty good. What's this? Means you have to be bad about it. Why are you defending yourself? This is the person who got really, really mad at me saying the same thing that they said. Chat, they've been going at it for like multiple tries. They keep replying to themselves too, and I love it. And they keep on going and going and going and going. And then I think you ought to step back from the internet. It's poisoned your thought process. Says the guy who's talking themselves. Oh no. Oh, Dylan Reiner 3823. Listen, man, you gotta step off. You have to step off the internet, man. I forgot that he existed until I saw this. Oh man, the poor guy. Poor fella. You were just confused with X and Windows being on the same desktop for a second. Yeah, yeah. I can't blame you. Cause it's like how would you know, right? It's just a weird thing that you just happen to like know that like X is on Windows. But you see how it works, right? It's a pretty cool like window editor. Wow, how do we get here? But yeah, so okay, when you say copy paste code, like no joke, you were correct about the copy pasting code thing. The best videos I've seen done some measure of this. Even Michael Reeves, like if you watch Michael Reeves, he like does the more entertainment side of things, right? The way he does it is that he only focuses on the highlights of it. He cuts to the very, very finished product and he ignores like the 8 hours or so beforehand. But if you've ever seen him program live, I think every single program that I've seen live, except for maybe Doug, but I haven't seen them yet, has the same process. And I tried my best to, but I'm actually realizing it may be impossible, and I may just program everything offline except for the game. The game is the one that we'll do on stream as part of the Sandbox Game Jam, but everything else, well, Stick Space and the Game Jam will do live. Everything else will probably be off stream. Because like I just don't think it's possible to stay undistracted, chat. It's very hard to stay undistracted. Copium, chat. I'm just saying, it's fun to hang out, talk, and like see things. Like, look at this. In an edited video, right? You can just see this playback, and it's good. It's been a good full day of programming streams. 30 minutes. You know what's funny about that? In real life, that's kind of what it feels like to program too. A lot of my best work is done when I spend a long time thinking about things, and then I like push out like a full implementation in like half an hour. You round it down to 10 minutes, maybe lower. I would go lower to like 5. But I've done my best work doing this. My best work has always been this, okay? 8 a.m. 8 a.m. Enter the office. Enter the office. Whoa. Don't delay. Come on. Enter the office. 9 a.m. I don't miss these times, by the way. Finish meeting. Because for some reason, we always start with like a meeting that isn't a stand-up. For some reason, everybody books their meetings in the morning, so I'm like stuck in like meeting hell for like 3 hours. So finish meeting 1. Then coffee. 9:05 a.m. Okay, well now it's getting even worse. 9:05 a.m. Coffee. Okay? You then repeat this coffee cycle. You sit down and you think for like 4 hours, right? So it's like, I don't know, like 1 p.m., all meetings done. Meetings done. Then all the way till like 6, it'll be like an alternating well, not 6. I usually leave by 6. It's let's say like 4 p.m. Multiple sessions of coffee, plus thinking, plus talking, plus thinking, plus writing. Actually, most of my time as a programmer is spent like thinking through solutions. Then for 1 hour, 5 p.m., multiple implementations done. This is what's gonna happen to me today, but not on stream because I'll probably just let go. It's like there's no recovering from this. Multiple implementations done. Look, next time I promise you guys, for the game jam, it'll actually be live on stream, because that one I have a good idea of what to do, and also we'll be discovering it together, and also it's more fun to make games. So I shouldn't be distracted. I don't think. You want next time, I can bonk you every time you get discursive. Only if you don't like it. Programming stream, yapping while the code editor is open. Well, I mean, what's new? It was the fucking Apple TV. Apple ruined everything again. It was the Apple TV, right? I think we did start with the Apple TV thing, right? Yeah, we did. How much lines of code did we write? Let's just check this out. We have 18 lines, 2 lines. We wrote 20 lines of code. To do later. Okay, well that's it for today's programming stream. I might as well just go because I'm tired. Template doesn't count. Okay, you want me to handwrite it? Okay, sure. Let me handwrite it for you. You see me handwriting it again? Wow, so handwritten. I'm using the replace mode. Look, I'm writing it in. Look, I'll even show you that I'm handwriting it. So like, look, I'll do like heed, right? Oh, it's wrong. Let me back up. Head. I'm telling you guys, you will not remember the template for like an HTML5 doc, like HTML, like an HTML file. You won't remember the like template for it. Okay, there's a bunch of things to it. It's HTML template because it tampers. More like 8. More like 8 what? Wait, 8 what? Oh, 8 lines of code. But let's round it to 3 lines. It's too much. I think we ran it down to like one. No, not even lines. Okay, chat. We don't count in like lines. We count in actual statements because you have multiple statements within one line. I think we did like 2 statements, maybe 2 or 3. Yeah, I give up on programming on like live stream. It's impossible. I give up. It's too distracting. You know what it is? The problem with programming, right, is that so much of your time is spent thinking that if you have any distraction, it's like your brain is already primed for thinking through things. At least for me, I find my brain to be very, very open to ideas and flexible to the point where I will kind of go down rabbit holes naturally. It's why when I do programming like off stream, it's dead silence. Like the videos that you're probably gonna see for the programming will probably be like dead silence. No, like I won't even talk. It'll just be background music and then me typing. I might even do ASMR with my keyboard. Maybe we'll see. But as it stands, it's pretty hard to like I don't know stay focused with it. At least for the live streaming side of things. I'm sure some people can like do it, but I'm not made for it. I don't think. Relatable. Today, you asked your student who works at the program how his work was, and he was like, "Yeah, so they've been playing table tennis since the billiards room was unfortunately occupied." We used to have a table tennis room. Yeah. To be fair, table tennis was with some serious stuff. I remember my coworkers and my manager. Like I'm not kidding you. As soon as the clock rolled like 4 to 4:30, we ended work at like 5. Right? Sometimes even at like 3 to 3:30, everybody would shoot each other a look over the table and go like, "There's a time," and then we would go and like, oh, they would go and play table tennis. I would join for like board games, but I wasn't a table tennis fan, so. It's very true. If I had a billiards room though, I would absolutely love to play billiards. That tickles my brain more than like table tennis, and I don't know why. Also, I don't like sweating. We know you yap to yourself offline too. No, I don't yap to myself offline. I yap to my wife, and then when my wife isn't there, then I just think about things. I'm stuck in my head a lot actually thinking. You need to write a program that will play in the lead. You don't have Vim in the foreground for 5 minutes. Even better, buy a shock collar for that. That would actually be amazing, right? Like a way to like break yourself out of a loop. Like an anti-distraction loop. Wait, hold up. You're onto something. Anti-distraction loop. Device. Twitch redeem for it too. All right. Well, I can't do a shot call like live on Twitch. I think they would ban me. We need something that's like How do I make it work then? If you can't hurt me, how do you break me out of the cycle? Because violence is king. Violence is the ultimate solution to all problems, right? Not the best solution. Just the most violent one. Relu and Cole have been doing it for a while though. Yeah, but like I don't know how to tell you this, chat. TOS for me, but not for thee, is all I can really say about that. When you get to a certain size, Twitch needs you for money more than they're willing to lose you. It's why they handle the infractions at the top, whereas at the bottom, you disappear. Just name it tickle. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be very, very tickled and be like, ah! If I scream and I get tickled, they're probably gonna know. We could do this. CSGO flashbang device. Is this it? No, I need like the actual flashbang. Somebody built a machine. Here we go. I need something like this. I need something like this, chat. That's what I need, right? I need something like crazy like this to really simulate what it feels like to like be very distracted. Jesus Christ, that's what I need. We'll think about it at some point. Okay, maybe we'll do like a table shaking tool. No, not table shaking. I don't want to break my setup. I don't want to break anything. IRL flashbang. I don't want to lose my eyesight. I can't be hurt because of TOS. I don't want to lose my eyesight. I can't hurt myself. Man, Twitch is so boring. Like you can't hurt yourself. Just attach what? Wait, what? Why is it censored? Just attach what? Type it in Discord and I'll say it. Actually, don't even type it in like Discord because I can't check. I'm gonna assume that I mean just attach a dildo to your table is what chat recommended. Vibrator, shock collar, TOS. Oh, they said vibrator / vibrator. This is TOS. I don't think you can have it. Well, I mean, hmm. Hmm. Is a Hitachi magic wand a sex toy? Or is it a massaging tool? Theoretically, apparently it's marketed as a massaging tool, like to massage your body, but it's used as a sex toy. Every time I get distracted, the phone in my ass vibrates. I feel like there's a meme there and I don't know what it is. Anyways, thanks for watching. We're done programming. I might as well just like leave. At this point, it's a too late, right? We've already lost the plot. I'm gonna do the rest of it offline. It's gonna be a silent video of me programming because I need to do the OAuth side on the server side anyway. So I'll cut that as well into it because we have 2 days left before the game jam really kicks in, and then we need to figure out what to do for that, and then we need to figure out how to play the rest of the games too. It's gonna be a huge mess of time, but we'll see how it goes. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry for not being able to program. It does always end up at the sex topics. It kind of does, right? Why does programming always get there? It's the chess cheating. The chess cheating. You're right. Why did he say that again? Wait, Magnus Carlsen. Anyways, I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna read about why Magnus Carlsen said he had a vibrator up his ass, and I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my day. Hopefully you do too. Thank you for watching the programming segments. Swear to God, we'll program next time.